What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well today. I got some Achi CTE gameplay for you guys. So if you don't know by now, DICE has released 2 of the Turning Tides maps coming out in December on the CTE. This being Achi, of course. It came out earlier this morning, October 17th. And it's definitely, as you can see right now, it's a little bit of a rough draft of it. It's obviously not the retail version of the game. This is what they've been called the white box environment. Which is a different type of approach that they're taking the CTE right now. It's going to hopefully help them out and get a better feel of what they need to correct from our feedback in the game. So yeah, this is definitely what they want to kind of focus on right now is the feedback on this map. And they are trying to essentially concentrate their CTE player base into more of a specific time. So I'm not sure how long this build is going to be available for us to play on this map in the CTE, but they're trying to concentrate it down to bring the player base more at a specific time rather than it being just available to play whenever and people coming in at different times. I think it probably affected some of the previous builds. That's why they've implemented it into this CTE. So along with the 2 new maps that are there, they did approve some of the movement, or they are trying to test out some of the movement. And as well as they are did some weapon balancing for some older weapons in some of the vanilla maps that are now implemented in this build. So they're looking for feedback on those 3 things. In this video here, I'm only going to be focusing on the actual map itself, give you guys an idea of what it's all about, kind of my feel for it, and all of that. As you can see here, I am rocking the new machine pistol. They aren't looking for any feedback on these weapons right now. Like I said, they have a build in this already for the new weapon balancings that they did for older weapons that came out in Battlefield. So I won't be talking much about this pistol right here, though it's pretty beastly for what it is. It gives me almost a little bit of a feel of the Villa Perosa, just how quick the fire rate is and how quick you kill someone with it, and kind of the range with it as well. The reload time is a little bit slow with it, so for people who might think this weapon is a little bit might be OP, as of right now, I'm not really having too much of a problem with it being OP, just because of the fact that I know the reload time is so slow. So all I gotta do is avoid the bullets from someone, and the moment he begins to run out of ammo, I can just rush him because he's going to take a year to reload. But that's all I'll say about that. Again, we're going to focus more on the map itself, because that's mainly what DICE is looking for the feedback right now. And so we're over here on C. This is the map. I would kind of say it's like a desert version of the Fort de Vaux, or like an Argonne Forest, because it's a 5 territory map with no vehicles at all. When I was watching the live stream yesterday for Battlefield, DICE's one of DICE's devs was talking about how he asked if he could even put a motorcycle on the map, and they were strictly no. They only want this to be a pure infantry mode map. So having it the pure infantry mode map with the 5 territories makes me kind of feel like a Fort de Vaux, or an Argonne Forest, or Verdun Heights, or something like that, which is nice from my perspective, at least, because after playing a lot of that with They Shall Not Pass, and then coming into these kind of different style kind of maps that we came in with Name of the Czar, it would be nice to kind of bring that a little bit back. So this is a little bit of a nod for that, and we're definitely gonna have a bit of a feel for that, even without the map not being fully done. So it's, you know, again, nice to have that just full infantry mode back in the game. And even though it's kind of hard to judge the map, because again, we don't really have all the textures and the details all done with, and you can kind of see, I mean, you can't really hide in a bush. You kind of stick out like a sore thumb with you know, with the contrast of the colors of the uniforms. But it's definitely a cool map. It's a canyon feel map, and I think this is going to look really nice when it gets all the texture all finished. Again, that's one thing I think it's kind of across the board, and I would be kind of surprised people who look at Battlefield, like any of the maps, and look at them and be like, this map looks terrible. Like, across the board, all the maps look great, in my opinion. I haven't looked at really one map like, oh my god, this is horrendous. You know, I think they all look great. Whether they play well or not, it's up to debate. But they definitely do look great, so I'm expecting this map's gonna look incredible. But like I said, it's a canyon feel map, so we got some canyons that we'll be playing in through here. As of right now, there is no way for me to get up on those little canyon parts where you'll run through the passageways. So there can't really get up on those spots right up there to my left or to my right. Got some little hills you can climb up over towards too, but that's pretty much about it. It kind of does move upwards, coming from A up towards to E. which is a little bit interesting. You do have some moments where kind of the grade does kind of go up and the gun moves downwards, but overall generally kind of moves upwards towards from A up to E. So that is a little bit interesting. From the gameplay I've played so far, it hasn't been too many. Well, there has been a little bit some lopsided stuff that's going on in the game so far. And I've been having some situations where if I'm playing on the team that I spawned here at the very beginning of the game, which is where the spawn is by E, I'm having some times where the gameplay where the enemy team is capping all the bases and everyone's kind of getting spawn trapped over there, and I haven't had a game yet where people have gotten spawn trapped by A yet, so that's kind of interesting. You are seeing this game, as you can see, it's already been like 26 minutes have gone by already, and I started the game already with like I don't know how many minutes have gone by. It's mainly because this is like one of the first games where the CTE came out, and so the player base wasn't completely filled yet. It took a little bit of time to fill it up, so there's a little bit of time at the very beginning of the game where there was only like a few people playing, me being one of course. And so it took a little bit of time for the player base to come in, so I kind of cut it and didn't show the very start of the game, so because it was of course it's like 5 people playing. So but yeah, this is more the feel of what it would be like for the 32 versus 32. So I didn't really want to put some gameplay out there. I only have 5 players, but yeah, like I was saying, there's no really, I haven't seen. I'm not really sure if it would necessarily call spawn traps, but yeah, I've had it twice already now where my team's been pushed back. Or once for me, I've pushed the enemy team back to E, and we held them back and capped all the bases. And then another time it happened to me. So I'm not sure if the spawn trap are just bad players and there's no team balancing and certain things like that. So, but I haven't seen it happen where we were holding the team back down over here to A. So and still I can kind of see that. I mean, and they'll get in all the telemetry and all the information in to kind of say how that's working out exactly. But yeah, we'll see how that turns out here in the future. But we do have a behemoth. That does bring up the idea of what the behemoth is on this map. And as of right now, it's it's like how they would do it on Forte Vo. We're getting sentry kits. So you're going to get the MG08 or the Villa Perosa or the Flame Trooper. Those are the 3 I've seen. I think there was 4. I saw 4 boxes and crates there, so I'm not sure if I saw a tank hunter or a trench raider, or maybe probably the new elite class should probably pop up as one of them. There's no new elite class gameplay, but I can imagine that the 3rd or the 4th one will probably be the new elite class. I've only seen 3 on here so far, so when I got to the crates, there was only the Villa Perosa, the MG08, and the Flame Trooper that was available. So yeah, I didn't get to see what that 4th one is. And as of right now, there's no elite class. So the elite class right now on this map is the Flame Trooper. That spawns here. It spawns here between up over here in the canyons, up over here straight ahead. But that's the only elite class on the map right now, which is interesting. It's probably again it's probably more of a Argonne Forest field then, since it's one elite class and the elite class is the Flame Trooper. We're not doing more similar to like a Forte Vo where you have 2 elite classes. So have the Flame Trooper there. And Flame Trooper is, like, in my opinion, the least effective out of all the elite classes, in my opinion. Yeah, it won't probably be that influential in the game. Again, of course, from my opinion, I've seen some people use kind of the Flame Trooper lately, and seen some people go on some pretty nasty streaks on it. So maybe I'm just not using it right. But I haven't really seen it, at least against me. I don't think I've ever really seen a Flame Trooper go on some crazy streaks. So nothing I'm gonna be really too concerned about, or feel like it would have shifted anything in the map or in the game. You play other maps where you have certain elite classes on there. I feel like Novel Knights with the Trench Raider and the MG08 on Forte Vo are the, please grab those weapons. Even the Villa Perosa on Tharishan and the Endazar. I do this kind of little series things where I see elite classes on the maps where I say, make videos about them, tell you guys to please grab those weapons, because I feel like those are going to play a big part on those maps. But on the Flame Trooper on this one, I don't feel like it's really going to do that much. A little bit too open in my opinion, not enough closed in distance. Though over here by B is pretty closed up. I mean, it's not too bad. There's a lot of, you could get in positions where you can get yourself in, and where you can protect your back a little bit, and watch yourself. But when you get out of the territory themselves, that's when you begin to walk out in the open. So especially over here, right here between B and C. There's gonna be a lot of guys over there to my left. I'm kind of pulling back right now. Unfortunately, my teammate, I knew that was gonna happen. He gets shot and killed, and I'm gonna come back over here and get some health. And I'm trying to flank down, flank around, but unfortunately, I don't got any of my I don't got any smoke to give myself some cover. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Kind of pinned down over here. I'm gonna try to push around and get out of that area, maybe flick around, and I get sniped from behind. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I wasn't noticing too, they do have like a lot of ammo in your weapons in themselves, so it is nice on this build that they did put that in there, where they put the like a limited amount of bullets essentially in your ammo. As you see right there, they do have that new feature in this build where if your teammate dies and you try to spawn in on him, you immediately go back into the spawn screen. So I like that approach more for not necessarily where I get in situations where I spawn on my teammates and die, because normally actually when I spawn on my teammates and they die, I can see the enemy players before they see me, and I'm able to get a jump on them, and that's usually what kills me the most. Is when I'm killing a bunch of enemy players, I'll kill a bunch of players and I think I'm good, and then what do you know, an enemy player had already spawned, I didn't see him on his teammate who just died, and he shoots me. So it's kind of the reverse effect for me. I see them fixing it because they say a lot of people are dying on their teammates when they spawn in, but I get the opposite effect. I die from enemy players who spawn in and kill me after I kill their teammates. So yeah, it's a little bit a little different for me, but I like it because hopefully it will avoid that, because I have that happen to me a lot. So that's done with, and so I'm kind of liking that feature right now. You see me push in with some smoke, and I'm gonna do the classic, throw a bunch of dynamite, because you can't see me and I can't see you, and I know the only thing's gonna hit you with some dynamite. So but yeah, so I like that little new feature in there. That'll hopefully fix that, and as of right now, I've seems kind of actually fixed. I mean, I don't really see too much of a big deal of someone who gets, you know, pushed back into the spawn screen. I mean, you might have a little bit more of a delay of getting into the game. That might be a little bit annoying. I think the worst part kind of in coming to the spawn screen is when you're trying to spawn on a teammate, but he's in like a position where you guys can't spawn in the same like area, and so you like get stuck there for a little bit, and then it tells you you can't spawn on your teammate, and then you have to like wait for it to tell you that message, and then you got to move your cursor off of that off of your teammate and try to find somewhere else, and that's a little bit of a delay. So it's not as a pain as that. It doesn't feel like it the same way. There is a little bit of a delay, but as of right now, I'm not really too bothered. But I think it's a better fix than what it was been, which is enemy players spawning on you, or you spawning on your dead teammate and getting yourself killed. So it kind of solved that, for at least from my perspective on it, and so I don't really mind it right now. And I'm not sure if it's the way to go completely, but if there's a better idea out there. But as of right now, I think for right now that's a good enough improvement as from what I've seen. But I'm over here by B. I'm on the ground, even though there's like no covers. There's no color or anything. So whatever, you see someone with color, they're pointing themselves out. But I know their spawn's gonna be out over here. Over here by B, so I'm trying to catch it, see if I could see what I could do. If I maybe do a spawn trap, or try to see how this is gonna work out in that position right there. So but yeah, they spawn out over here. They spawn at the very beginning of the game by A. I'm trying to camp B. They spawn out over here, and they're able to the actual zone itself kind of, I mean, I should have thrown some dynamite right there. I was like thinking, man, I should have thrown dynamite. They were all right there. He just knifes my teammate like crazy. But yeah, some of the captured territory there goes actually not in those trenches. It starts coming outwards, and so where I was laying down, you could see me being able to be in the actual territory itself. So sometimes that's what I'll do when it comes to getting in up close to the enemy team. I'll like see where their spawn's at, and I'll lay down right where the edge is for them to get onto the actual territory, because they're most likely thinking I'm the furthest away, and that's where their eyes are at. So I'll just lay down right there at the front, because their eyes are not even looking at me. And the moment they get on the territory, I'll stand up and start blasting as quick as I can. I usually catch them on guard, but saw a little bit of that happen right there. But although enough of them were able to push up there to cause B a little bit of a problem. So I'm gonna come over here and try to help my teammates out over here by A, just because I worked so well earlier when I threw the smoke. As the guys pushed my teammates right there. But the moment I spawned on them, my teammates had already done enough damage and actually taken out all the rest of the players. So they handled that very well. And trying to get ourselves back into the game right here. We're falling behind, and still want to give it get a bit of a competitive mode. They don't want you, of course, quitting out of the game or anything like that, because even if you don't give them feedback, which is what they're looking for, and it's what I will link down below, which is their Reddit page and the actual page itself for the CTE that talks about the feedback they're looking for, and they give you a little survey to go through. But even if you don't fill that out, they at least get telemetry, which is the information off of all the things that are going on in the game. I don't know exactly what they're getting off of you, but they're getting probably a lot. What weapon you're using, what your kill count was, what your death count was, what your KD, all that type of stuff. They're getting all that information off of there, and so they can still get some information from that. And that's what they were talking about on the live stream, was basically they feed off of both those, the telemetry and the feedback. So, they'll relate both of them together to kind of weed out, some people who might just having their own little experience. Maybe you have one situation where something crazy happens, right? You're like, oh my god, I need to report this in, and we need to change this up over here. And they look at the information and they see, a bunch of other people aren't having this issue, no one else has had it, you're the only one person to be having it. They want to be very cautious not to completely do it off of this kind of maybe bizarre case, or maybe for some other reason that happened that they don't need to change something up. So the telemetry kind of gives them the information on that to kind of let them know what exactly is going on. Like right now, I already kind of feel like, from having 2 games where we were able to cap the team up there over by E, one time for my team and the other time for the other team. They'll go look at the telemetry and see if that's happening a significant amount of times, and if that's the case, then they're gonna probably want to fix something up and try to bounce the map up, because obviously that's not a going to be my only situation here. Everyone's having that problem. But if it's just something I've gone through towards too, then of course they're not going to make a big deal about that. It's just how the game rolled. So fortunately for us this game, we had A over here, so I could keep spawning out over here. What those 2 games that were like, at least the one for me, was I was watching my whole team just all bunched up into one big group, and they were getting themselves caught up over there in those choke points where the canyon is at. And you see that was kind of happening right there, but because we have A, we were able to avoid that. So kind of the same thing, kind of like Verdun Heights and all these other things. So even if the map doesn't even change, it's not like it's not going to be fixable. Like if you can't adjust to it in the game and figuring out how to avoid these issues. So again, we'll see what the information is like coming up here in the future, what people's experiences are. But as of right now, I don't think it's too bad of a map. I think from what it is right now, even though it's very bare bones, overall it's not too bad. As you see me posting up back over here on B, get into this spot again. But yeah, it's not too bad. I think when they get the texture down and all the shading and all the lighting, coloring, all that type of stuff, I think this is gonna look a really nice map. I'm gonna give you more of the probably the canyon feel that you get in Sinai when you're playing around B on the objective B on Conquest, as I'm kind of like waiting here to see if the enemy players, I was hoping they would all push out, because they just capped A, so I'm hoping they're all just going to push out right now. But the moment, I think, yeah, he doesn't, my teammate kills one of them, and they're all like slowly taking their time, and I realize, okay, my teammate is like killing them over here, and yeah, I get like fall down right here. Everything's kind of going the way I don't want it to go, but I don't end up dying. So, but yeah, it's gonna be kind of like that canyon over there by B on Conquest on Sinai, because Sinai's more, you get that more of that desert, sand dune feel, but not essentially the canyon, except for that one little part right there, and maybe a little bit over there by I forget the other object, the one on the other side where the other team spawns. That map is so big. There's so many different, I think it's by F spawn or something like that. But yeah, so this is definitely going to be more of the canyon feel towards there, which I think is definitely going to be cool. It'll be interesting to see how much of the actual physical environment they deal with, like the atmosphere. With in the other desert maps, you had the sandstorm that came in. It would be a little bit interesting if what they'll do with that. I like the lighting right now. I think the lighting in this game is it's a little bit cloudy actually on this game. Yeah, it's cloudy on this one. I've had different ones. Yeah, this seems like this is the environment kind of they're gonna have a little bit of cloudiness. I don't know about that. I liked how it was really sunny. I had a different one where it was really sunny, and I don't know. I just kind of I like it sunny on this map. It feels really nice to have it sunny. It feels very bright, and I kind of like that. I think what might be kind of cool if maybe they put in more of an environmental field where it was like a wash. Like if it does like become very cloudy, maybe if it rained, like if it was a wash that came through those canyons, because that's usually what ends up breaking those canyons up over time with water erosion. And or basically I think the only thing as far as I'm concerned, I mean I'm not no geologist, but from what I know about a little bit about those things, I'm pretty sure the majority of the time it's water, if not the only thing. And so it would be kind of cool if maybe if the rain came down, if it rained down and you just have like a little bit of a water flow that went downwards a little bit, how that would play out. You know, you could kind of get that feel on Brussels Keep with a little bit of that river that goes down between the two capture points in the middle of the map. Between those two of C and B, you have that water that trickles down. So I think that would be kind of cool if maybe they did a little bit of a runway with a wash or something like that. But but I would kind of more prefer it if it was just sunny. Right now, when it's a map sunny, which you're not seeing it on this round right here, when it is, it looks nice. I like it. It's really clear. You get that kind of feel of like it's midday. Feel of how sunny it is, high noon or something like that. It feels good. So. It doesn't look like they're probably going to do that, but yeah, it'll probably be because it's kind of the Dice's kind of style. They want to keep a little bit of environment in it, but when it does pop up and it will pop up, it's definitely gonna have a nice little vibe to it. So unfortunately, we weren't able to bring it back this game as I get myself caught out there in the open. But that's a little bit of a feel for you guys if you guys haven't checked this out yet, and you haven't seen this in any other videos, or if you haven't checked out the CTE at all, of course. I'll link again the Reddit down below to keep in touch with that, because that's going to give you more details of when this build is going to go down. The CTE actual, when I say build, I mean the actual game that you're seeing right now. They describe them as build, so they'll put a different build in. They'll put the new maps in or something else, or maybe a new update. They usually call it like a build. So yeah, I don't know if it's what's going to happen with it, or exactly all the logistics of that. So I'm going to put everything in the description to go to the Reddit page and check that thing out, and you need to get hooked up with that. So but that's basically it for you guys today. Thanks again for being here. I am Livin, and I'll catch you guys again later. Peace.